Welcome back. This is my name's Dennis, and I wanted to talk a little bit in this video about shipping. Shipping, yes. As a eBay seller, you are definitely going to want to get used to the idea of being your own little shipping department, and that is going to entail a number of different aspects. You will be wearing many different hats. Not only will you be taking pictures of things, listing items, you will also be packing items up, finding boxes, finding shipping supplies and other materials. You will also be making runs to the post office, UPS, comparing rates, and all the other fun stuff. I know that may all sound overwhelming right now, but you will get the hang of it. Everyone has a learning curve, and these videos that I am creating for you is to help you become familiar with all the options available to you as an eBay seller, and to help you decide what is best for you and your particular situation. One thing that a lot of people ask me when I am showing them how to sell on eBay is they should opt for a flat rate shipping or calculated. Now briefly I'll go over the two options. Flat rate is when you charge the same rate to all of your buyers no matter where they live in the lower 48 states. I live in Cincinnati, and if I have an item that weighs 2 pounds and I want to charge a flat rate of $7.70, that means that somebody in Maine can expect to pay $7.70 for shipping, as well as the guy next door, or the guy down the street, or the guy 2 miles away, or the guy clear over in California. That's what flat rate means. One rate for everybody. Calculated is the other option. Calculated means that the rate that a buyer sees when he reviews your listing is going to be based upon A, the weight of the item, B, the dimensions of the box, or the overall dimensions of the item, and C, the distance the buyer is from you. Now, of the two options, generally I prefer the calculated option for one primary main reason, and that reason is, suppose you have two buyers. Suppose you have one item and you have two of those items, and you have two buyers looking at that item. One of your buyers lives in a town 70 miles away, and the other buyer lives clear across the country. Let's use the example before, the flat rate. The guy who lives 70 miles away and the buyer who lives clear across the country, each one of those buyers would pay $7.70. Now the buyer who lives closer is going to feel a little bit cheated because it might only cost $4 to mail that item, whereas it might cost $10 to mail it clear across the country. People who live further from you can rightfully expect to pay more for shipping, and for that reason we generally choose calculated. I would, if I'm looking at things to buy on eBay and I see a seller selling something that I want to buy, and that seller is 3 counties away, I don't want to pay the same shipping rate as someone who lives clear across the country. And that is what calculated effectively tells your buyers. Everyone's paying the same rate. You're all the same. That's what flat rate tells all your buyers. And that's what I dislike about flat rate. I like calculated because one of your buyers who lives 3 counties away is not going to pay as much as someone who lives clear across the country. And I think that's the way it should be. That's my own personal opinion. You do not have to follow this by any stretch of the imagination, but just put yourself into your buyer's shoes. How would you want to be treated? Would you want to be treated just like the same as everybody else, as far as the same price in terms of shipping, or is it would you prefer to be charged the actual price based upon the calculated method, based upon the weight of the item, how far it has to ship, and the dimensions of the item? So those are the two main options available to you as far as what you are allowed to choose when you are setting up your listings as a seller. Flat rate, same price for everybody, and calculated, which is in theory a different price for each buyer based upon those 3 criteria that I mentioned before. The distance the buyer is from you, the weight of the item, and in some cases the dimensions of the item. And I will go over in my next video that in some cases the dimensions of the item do not matter. I don't want to overwhelm you right now with all the details and all the aspects, so I'm going to try to keep each video specific to a one aspect of selling on eBay. And this video I decided to kind of narrow down the 2 options available to you when you are setting up your listings, whether to choose flat rate or calculated. In other videos I will discuss the classes of shipping, the different carriers, and shipping outside of the US. So look for those videos as well.